check out our sponsor, ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com, the leading innovator in water filtration systems. Get all of your water filters at ProPureUSA.com. Click the link below right now. Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're tuning into AMTV Alternative Media Television. It's Tuesday, April 28, 2015, and the Baltimore riots. What you need to know. You know, it's amazing for a supposed Nobel Peace Prize winning president, Barack Obama. I have never seen more racial tension and divide in America ever. I mean, this harkens back to the civil rights protests of that era and might be worse than what we saw during the day and age of MLK. For a president that's supposed to unite Americans. Remember Oprah Winfrey crying in 2008, shedding tears, going to unite black and white, unite Americans of all races, has just turned into a shit show of violence. The mayor of Baltimore, that happens to be a black female, and that's notable, called those on the streets protesting violently in response to the tragic death of Freddie Gray as thugs. She must be tuning into AMTV, because that's exactly what we said in Ferguson. This is exactly what we said and how we described the violence post the Michael Brown incident, post the Trayvon Martin incident, and now these violent protests of thugs in the city streets of Baltimore. So what do we need to know about this? Because this is divide and conquer strategy at its finest, folks. Again, that's the intent. Divide America. The intent was never to bring us together. It's why the political elite put Barack, insane in the membrane, Obama, into the post of office at the White House. So I want to read something to you that I caught on Twitter. If those who seek world dominion can stimulate leftist mobs into violent confrontation with local law enforcement and also provide exhaustive news coverage so that the entire nation can see and tremble, then the peaceful and freedom-loving majority can be programmed to accept a vast expansion of government powers and even a national police force offered supposedly to end the violence. Replay that. Back that up one more time. Again, I caught this on Twitter. I don't know who said it. I don't know if it's an excerpt from a book, but it is profound. And it's exactly what we're dealing with today. I also want to read you a quote from the VP of the Baltimore Orioles speaking, and this is a direct quote, speaking on behalf of the closure of the game. They had to move the game maybe to the Washington, I think, National Stadium. This is what he had to say about the Baltimore riots, these thugs on the street. Brett, speaking only for myself, I agree with your point that the principle of peaceful, nonviolent protest and the observance of the rule of law is of utmost importance in any society. MLK, Gandhi, Mandela, and all great opposition leaders throughout history have always preached this precept. Further, it is critical that in any democracy, investigation must be completed and due process must be honored before any government or police members are judged responsible. That said, my greater source of personal concern, outrage, and sympathy beyond this particular case is focused neither upon one's night's property damage nor upon the acts, but is focused rather upon the past 4-decade period during which an American political elite have shipped middle-class and working-class jobs away from Baltimore in cities and towns around the United States to third-world dictatorships like China and others, plunged tens of millions of good, hardworking Americans into economic devastation, and then followed that action around the nation by diminishing every American's civil rights protections in order to control an unfairly impoverished population living under an ever-declining standard of living and suffering at the butt end of an ever more militarized and aggressive surveillance state. Then he continues, the innocent working families of all backgrounds whose lives and dreams have been cut short by excessive violence, surveillance, and other abuses of the Bill of Rights by government pay the true price, an ultimate price, and one that far exceeds the importance of any kid's game played tonight or ever at Camden Yards. We need to keep in mind people are suffering and dying around the United States. And while we are thankful no one was injured at Camden Yards, there is a far bigger picture for poor Americans in Baltimore and everywhere who don't have jobs and are losing economic, civil, and legal rights. And this makes inconvenience at a ball game irrelevant in light of the needless suffering government is inflicting upon ordinary Americans. End quote. Wow! Wow! Isn't that profound? What that man just said, folks, is brilliant, and it is on point. It's not about race. This whole strategy at the White House is divide and conquer. The whole strategy of the mainstream media is to blow up these incidents and blast it all across our TV screens, again, to divide and conquer. But it's about much more than that, as this gentleman pointed out, the VP of the Orioles. Folks, this is about a destruction of our civil liberties, our rights, the exportation of jobs overseas to dictatorships like China, a destruction of family values, of our cultures, of our society, of all races. Again, folks, this is black, this is white, this is Latino. This makes up the melting pot that is America today. This ever-increasing police state, surveillance state, and Orwellian leadership. This is what makes up America today. And it's exactly why Barack Obama, a divide and conquer president, a Manchurian candidate, was put into power by the political elite to destroy this country. To give Americans a little bit, give them bailouts and, socialized programs, open up our borders while he quietly transforms America to what it is today. Get Americans focused on these hot, emotional cases, these tragedies that make up this Gray case, that make up Michael Brown, that make up Trayvon Martin, to distract and to divide and conquer this great country. While they rape our land, while they destroy our civil liberties, while they surveil us illegally. This president of the United States, who knows, might serve a third term. And if it's not him physically, it'll be the byproduct and in the byproduct of Hillary Benghazi Gate Clinton. That bitch! This oligarchy that makes up Washington, D.C. today. The Bushes, the Clintons, Obama, the Manchurian candidate, has teed this up for America. One thing maybe Mr. Angeles here was wrong about, or he didn't really mention, is that, China, he's calling this dictatorship. Maybe we have a dictatorship in Washington, D.C. If it's not a dictatorship, at the very least, it's a plutocracy. It's an oligarchy of these royal families to seek out and destroy everything this country once stood for. I mentioned this in the last video covering Bruce Jenner, which, by the way, went viral. It only proves my point. Only over 50,000 views in less than 24 hours. Watch it if you haven't, because it is a lesson in mainstream media propaganda. It should be studied. People want to know, why did I cover that in such depth? Why did I do an 18-minute piece? Because it's important. It should be studied. It is a master PR campaign. It's exactly what's coming out of the mouth of Washington, D.C. today. Again, destroy America, destroy family values, divide us through race, blow up these stories like the tragic case that makes up Mr. Gray, who severed his spinal cord due to at least what appears to be aggressive police action. And those people should be punished under the full extent of the law. But most Americans are missing the point. They're missing what's actually occurring in Washington, D.C. They're missing that we're losing America. That this country is being fundamentally destroyed by these people. This is a war, folks, between good and evil. The sooner we realize that, the better off we'll all be. The lesson we should learn from this, What we should be doing is coming together. We should be coming together as America, as a great society, not just in this country, but around the world. We should be fighting these assholes at the tippy top that are supposed to be representing you and me, that are supposed to be representing us. A constitutional republic, something millions of Americans shed their blood for, so that you and I could have the very little freedom that's being stolen from us at this very given moment in history. I'm Christopher Green. Get this video out everywhere. Make it viral. Hard-hitting it in your face as usual. And click the link below to support our sponsor.